Hi everyone, I'll be talking to you about Willowbrook State School and how the past has affected the future of individuals with developmental disabilities. Willowbrook opened in 1947 and the goal of the state-run school was to provide relief for families whose loved ones had developmental disabilities and weren't sure how to care for them. The individuals were also supposed to receive an education that was tailored to their needs and their learning abilities. Unfortunately, the families were not aware of what was really happening at Willowbrook. The individuals did not receive care along with the education that was promised. Instead, the individuals were neglected due to the extreme lack of staff and the overcrowding of the residential units. They also encountered sexual, mental, and physical abuse. The abuse came not only from the other individuals, but also from the staff that were supposed to be caring for them and protecting them. In 1965, Senator Robert Kennedy started visiting different schools for the developmentally disabled. He did so because his sister Rosemary had been diagnosed with a disability. When Senator Kennedy visited Willowbrook, he could not believe what he was seeing. At one point, he stated the facility was a situation that borders a snake pit. After his visit to Willowbrook, a 5-year plan was set in place to improve the conditions that he witnessed. Unfortunately, after 5 years, conditions did not seem to improve within the school. In 1972, a reporter, Geraldo Rivera, was able to gain access to the school and get a camera inside. Once inside, he could not believe what he was seeing either. Rivera not only captured visually what was happening, but also described the smell of which consisted of filth, disease, and death. Rivera then made a documentary that exposed everything that was occurring within the school. Once the exposure happened, Governor Bruce Carey visited Willowbrook. Carey was overwhelmed with what he saw and started working with Bruce Ennis, who was a civil liberties lawyer. Ennis and Carey then agreed on a consent decree. The consent decree is still being utilized today to make sure that the individuals have clean clothing and living units, medical and mental health care that are up to standards, and education that is tailored to the individual, and recreational activities that the individual will enjoy. After the care and living arrangements were exposed, legislation started working on new bills to protect the individuals. Some of the laws that were initially created were the Developmental Disabilities Assistance and Bill of Rights Act. This bill allows the individuals along with their families to develop a tailored plan for the individual. Also, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act allowed any person, no matter what their disability, to obtain an education. Both laws were put into effect in 1975. Since then, other bills have been created, such as the Civil Rights of Institutionalized Persons Act of 1980. Also, the one that people know the most about, the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was placed into effect in 1990. Even with the bills set in place, that did not help with the understaffing and overcrowding that was occurring within Willowbrook. Due to the conditions not improving, the individuals were transferred to individual residential alternatives, also known as IRAs, within the community. Once all the individuals were placed in the IRAs or back with their families, Willowbrook closed its doors as a school for the developmentally disabled in 1987. The care that the individuals receive now has tremendously improved due to the new legislative bills that were created and because of living in a more private setting.